What's up? What's up, everyone? It is me, Cicely Renee, and I am also known as the Bougie Black Blogger, but also known as a full-time entrepreneur, the owner, the founder, and executive director of Kindred Creatives Art and Literary Press, which is a nonprofit organization, bookstore, creative space in Louisville, Texas. My full time entrepreneur has a lot included in it, and I will not bore you with those things, okay? But I'm super excited to have you. This is called Set the Scene Sunday, right? And this is the first episode where it's kind of like it's supposed to be a live community, right? We are engaging in dialogue, we are setting goals with each other, we are holding each other accountable, we are building community and being community with for other people, right? We are all on different paths in life. We are maybe entrepreneurs, maybe stay-at-home moms, or educators, or working in the nurse field. But we all have goals in life, right? And this community is not only for entrepreneurs. It's not specific to any category. It is for people who have goals, who want a community, and to be held accountable and find resources as well. All right, so that is Set the Scene. Real quick, today is literally my first year anniversary of being a full-time, well, I was a full-time entrepreneur about a month ago, but it's my first anniversary of the bookstore. So we had our grand opening this time last year, and it was amazing. And so this year has, I've experienced so much in 1 year, where it's like it took me out of character. It made me do things that I didn't think I would ever do. There's just a lot happening. And so now that I've hit that year mark, it's like, okay, I have an idea of what I want this business to be, what I want it to look like, where I want it to go. And so now I can start really setting, goals and checkpoints, and, having a visual of like what I would like for my particular business, but even in my life. Like, so how does this business fit in my life? How do I fit in this business world? Like, there's just so many ways this can work. And I was like, I need a community. I need to focus. I need to create a ritual or a habit so that I can, continue this goal of my goal is full-time entrepreneurship. Like I don't ever really want to work full-time for someone. And so I'm going to do things like the gig life to make sure that I don't have to work for other people, right? And so that is a little bit about Set the Scene Sunday. And so on Sundays, you'll either get a YouTube video, you'll get an email, you'll get something to help you focus for the week, right? And we want to build community. And so one of the other goals is to have a live group session where we're talking about our goals. We're talking about things that inspire us, finding resources and sharing resources and all of that. And so that's just an overview of what I see for Set the Scene Sunday. All right. And again, I am Cicely Carr, and I am just a creativepreneur and a superpreneur, which is on my website. You can get that t-shirt. I do all the ish. I do it all because this is just me, but I definitely have community, which is one of the reasons why I was like, yeah, we need to set the scene Sunday and build community so we can find people to support and help us in our goals and our lives, right? All right. So that's a little bit about me. And if you are watching on YouTube or however you're watching and it's a community, be sure to put in the chat box, like right now, like where you're watching from, what you do, what people can access you for, like what services do you provide, and it doesn't have to be services. So like if you're maybe like a stay-at-home mom, you can say, I can help people, with breastfeeding or whatever it may be, teaching from home or homeschooling or whatever that is. So I want you to put that in the chat box below right now and introduce yourselves, right? We're building community. All right. All right. So how this is gonna go, we're gonna start off with three things. So three things that either sparked my mind this week, or I will pull from other people to share their three things. And we will talk about those three things and how it can set your week and how it helped you this past week or month or whatever it may be. Okay. So we are on the session for three things. All right. So thing number one, all right, people in your corner. So let me explain or talk to you a little bit about what I mean by people in your corner. So yesterday I had an event, and it was the Art and Lit Fest, Texas Art and Lit Fest, and it was supposed to be huge. It was supposed to have like 50 vendors all on the top of the second floor of, the Music City Mall here in Louisville, where my store is. We were going to have vendors and sessions, and it was going to be this 3-day event. And I had like 15 people on my committee to help, put this event together and carry it out. But it dwindled down to just three people, that really stayed behind the scenes with me, helped me, plan. They were like, what do you need to do this week? Have you done this? What do you need? Like, they were helpful, but they also kept me on my toes. And so I was like, I need you. I need these people in my ear, because let me tell you, I almost quit like 50,000 times, right? I did not want to do this. I didn't want to do it by myself. I needed help. I was running the bookstore. I was trying to do other things. Like I was trying to, survive. And then we have this event that is just like overpowering. And, I wanted to be great. And so I just was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. But I had people in my ear that just kept pushing me, kept telling me what I need to do, how I need to do it, telling me that they're going to do something, I'm going to do that, and one of those things. So the people in your corner, so like, I love great ideas, right? But because it is just me and I am doing so many things, like suggestions are amazing, but actions speak louder than words, right? So we have, ideas, all these ideas, but I'm like, I need you to back it up. I need you to go fix this. I need you to go, find the sponsors. I need you to push it. Like, you're telling me what I need to do, but I'm already overwhelmed. You have these great ideas. So can you help me out? Can you do this thing? Right. And so just thinking about that, just being able to have people in your ear, but also active, right? Putting their steps into action, like, like it, yeah, you get my idea, you get my drift. So those are people in your corner. So who is in your corner? Who is backing you up? Who is helping you? Who is asking those questions? Who is keeping you accountable? Because you need those people in your corner, okay? And so I literally just had a conversation with a group of people, and they're like, yeah, all you need is just three. And it's so funny how it ended up to be just three. Me, my friend, and my other friend. I won't say no names, but those three people were just the backbone of everything. And I'm just like, and I had other help, but those were the two women that just really backed me up. And I was just, you have no idea how grateful I was. I actually cried because I was so grateful. Excuse me. All right, so that is people in your corner. So being cognizant of those people that are helping you and giving you good advice, right? And pushing you and keeping you on your toes, all right? All right, thing number two, we have staying the course, even if you do not know what it looks like. So I'm speaking on behalf of this event that I had this past weekend. And like I said previously, I wanted to quit a million times, because I'm just like, I had this idea, but it definitely was not going where I wanted it to go, right? And I wanted to quit. I was like, this is not what I want. I don't know what's gonna happen, and so like I just kept it. So I was gonna postpone, I was gonna quit. But even the last day, the last 2 days, people were like, okay, I want to sign up for a vendor. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to help you with that. And I got my vendors. I got my vendors the day before the event. Okay, maybe 3 days before the event. But that is so close. Not my vendors, but my sponsors. I got my sponsors like 2 to 3 days right before the event happened. And so I'm like, I guess I'm just gonna pay for everything, which is fine, but I wanted to build community. That is my goal. And I want to feature other people. I want to, you know, grow, especially here in Louisville. And so I got, different businesses that are here in Louisville to be part of this event. And I just had no idea, but I just kept pushing. I kept going, even though I quit in my head like a million times. And in the end, it turned out amazing, y'all. It was beautiful. My event was fabulous. And I won't just say it's my event, but like it's the community, it's the collective's event, because that's another story. We'll talk about that in another day. Okay. All right. So tip number 3, or my thing number 3, is paying attention to your body. So let me tell y'all, this past week, so I was stressed beyond, I didn't realize how stressed I was. Like I knew I was stressed, but my body was literally telling me to stop and relax. And so at my store in the mall, like we get in trouble, we get fined if we open late, if we don't open at all, if we close early. And I'm like, I gotta be there 7 days a week. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I can't do this. And my body was telling me so many things. Like I was exhausted and my digestive system is all out of whack. I just could not get right. And so my stomach was swollen and I was just in pain for like 5 days straight, you guys. And so I was like, I gotta go home. I gotta go home and lay down. Gotta lay down. So I took I coined this past week the year where I took naps, because I never really took naps until this week. And I was like, I just need a nap. I just need to relax. And it was so helpful. And I also started taking this thing called papaya seeds. Like I saw it my friend told me about it, and then I saw it on TikTok. And I was like, okay, we're gonna try these papaya seeds, this detox and whatnot. But my body was in pain, it was aching, it was struggling. And I knew that I wanted to be amazing for this event. And so I had to make sure that I was. So I know I had a lot of things I needed to do, but I rested. Like I was just like, I'm not gonna stress out. I'm not gonna let this kill me. I want to live another day. So I rested. I was just like, you know what? Forget everything I need to do right now. It's going to still be there when I wake up. And so when I woke up, then I went and finished what I needed to do. Right. So yes, those are my 3 things. People in your corner, stay in the course, even though you don't know what it looks like. And then paying attention to your body, listening to what it says. It's telling you something, y'all. It's telling you. I had headaches. I was tired. I couldn't think straight. I was drinking tea, like all this stuff. And I just could not get right. And so I was like, just rest. Just let some things go. Let things handle it on its own, or whatever it may be. Just let it be. And then I was good to go. Those are my 3 things. All right. So the next thing we want to talk about is goals. And so I don't know. So I'm all over the place with goals, right? And so the idea is to set a goal for the week, the month, and the year, or just maintain those ideas. So if you have your yearly goal, your yearly goals, you want to make sure that, all the things that you're doing align with that goal, right? So what are you doing this week to help you with that goal? What are you doing this month to help you with that goal? So I want you to start thinking about what you need to focus on this week and this month that aligns with this year's goal. So I'm done with that event, and so because I'm a full-time entrepreneur and I have multiple streams of income, and I need to keep a roof over my head, I have to make sure that, I do things that allow me to keep a roof over my head. So I knew once this event was over, I was like, okay, we are going to focus on my personal brand, which is Cicely Renee and Bougie Black Blogger. And so with that, it's like my handmade products, my gifts, my journals, my books, my blogs, my YouTube channel. So that area, right? And so, the thing that I personally want to focus on this week is creating a routine, a weekly, like chunking my time. I spoke with this wonderful woman named JC. Oh my goodness, I just lost her last name. Anyways, I asked her, she's doing about as much as I am, or maybe even more. And I was just like, how are you doing it? And people always ask me that. And I'm just like, I don't know, God is handling this, but he wants us to be intentional with our time, right? And so she was telling me how she chunks her time. She blocks out time. She says, this is what I'm focused on. This is what I'm doing at this particular time. I'm not focused on anything else. And me being a person with undiagnosed ADHD, I'm all over the place. Like a squirrel. Oh, totally forgot what we're talking about. But yeah, we still need to get things done, right? And so that is my goal for this week, is to be intentional with my time. And how that feeds into this month and this year's goals is that I'm making sure I'm intentional and focused on what I need to do so that I can reach those goals. If I'm all over the place, I'm never going to reach those goals. So this week is all about figuring out how to create a lifestyle filled with my chunks that I need to focus on, my goals, all of that. And so hopefully this segment will be a little more clear as we continue this setting the scene Sundays, right? So this month is July. I do have a goal. I need to make $3,000 personally. I need to make $3,000, not the bookstore, but me, right? So what am I going to do this month to make sure I make $3,000? And so that is what I'm focusing on. And so when I'm blocking off that time, when I'm starting to create this content, that is what I'm focused on. I want to make sure that I can keep a roof over my head, right? Of course, I'm letting God lead the way. So I'm praying that, he inspires me with creativity and inspiration and connects me with the people that I need to connect with so that I can meet those goals, right? So you just have to think about those things. So I want you to start thinking about your goals for this week, this month, and this year, and how it aligns. How does it add up? Is it detracting or is it adding? Like, what is happening? Are we all over the place or are we on a mission? All right. All right. So cool. That is our goal setting. All right. So now we're about to talk about our keyword. Our keyword, well, for me, you can come up with your own keyword, but I feel like this will help you as well. So this keyword has been sticking out like crazy to me. Like people have said this in different, arenas, areas, like I'm months ago, like, and it just keeps standing out. Like it's not just some other word like dream or never give up, but it's like a specific word and it has been standing out like crazy. And I'm like, okay, God, this is what you need me to think about. So I'm going to focus in on this word and figure out how I need to go about it, right? And so the word for this week is pivot. And so I was first introduced to this word. I mean, I know what pivot is, right? But I was introduced about 3 months ago. I was talking to this man, a Black home business owner in downtown Louisville. And I was just talking about like my struggles, my stresses, and all this stuff. And he just kept giving me all this amazing information. And the word that just continued to just stick out, just like bing, 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 was the word pivot. And he was like, don't give up, just pivot. You have all this stuff going on. Okay, All right, now you need to just pivot. Like that is not adding up. So now you need to figure out what you need to do. Make a pivot, maybe not like a huge, like, forget a bookstore, forget a creative space, and let's go build houses. Like, no, that's not a pivot. That is just like, I don't know what that word is. But pivot is just like, okay, what else can you do? What else can you do to add to this entity? Or what can you do to build this business? What can you do to be able to utilize and take advantage of the services and the space that you have, right? So the word pivot has been standing out like crazy, you guys. And so I have started making some pivoting moves. Thinking about different services I can add to the bookstore, thinking about ways to make money, but it still aligns with my mission, my values, and my goals, right? And what is crazy is that, like, when I started thinking about it, new things started popping up. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, God, I hear you, I see you. And so when you start having an open mind and open heart, like, things will start popping up and you're like, oh, maybe I'm supposed to do this, right? Um, and you're not supposed to do everything. Don't take that as you have to do everything. But just think about, things that are presented to you. Does it align with your mission? Does it align with your, if it does, maybe this is something that you should focus on, or, take into consideration, right? And so that is something I just want to leave with y'all, is just to pivot, okay? What are some pivoting things that you may have? Like, what are some alternative ways to get to your dreams, right? That's what it is. What are some alternative ways to get to your dreams and goals? What other steps, or what other services, or what other actions do you need to do? That is pivoting, okay? All right, so I'm gonna leave y'all with this last little quote. Well, not last little quote, but a quote to end the evening or the session of setting the scene Sundays. And I'm so glad you're here. But yes, all right. So here's a quote. Before a dream can mature and manifest itself as real, a lot of loaded efforts come into play. So you're doing so many things, right? You're doing all the things. You're in the pivot on which those loads must be turned. So now you have all these things. Which way are you gonna go? So you're being presented with all these things, right? You're having these dreams. Which way are you gonna go? Right? So being cognizant of what's happening in your world, what you're doing, it's vital to pay attention and be intentional with your time. Um, but yes, all right. So what are you guys thinking? Are you inspired? Are you motivated? Are you excited about this week? Let me know in the comments below. All right. I'm super excited about Set the Scene Sunday, and I'll see you next week. All right. Peace and blessings.